Good Wednesday morning, Foggers. I hope everybody had a good Tuesday. It's a happy hump day, and you're almost at the weekend, so that's a good thing. So today, I dropped off my son, normal stuff. He's doing his thing, and I am now getting ready to do a stress test because at the end of the month, I have a small cardiac procedure, and everybody says it's a small cardiac procedure because it's not their heart. But this is kind of like a tune-up, right? And it brings me to today's conversation, again, because of the conversations I had this weekend with a lot of officers that I encountered. But anyway, so, we used to talk about taking out the garbage, right? And for the new followers, I always talked about, we have garbage cans that the county comes and picks up, right? And they're made for like 3 or 4 bags, and we're shoving 5, 6, and 7 bags, and the lid doesn't close, and that's the analogy that I use for us, right? We have an accumulation of traumatic calls, childhood dysfunctions, and we just cram it and cram it and cram it, and eventually it's going to come out the sides, and you're gonna have a world of shit, and you're gonna have, like I did, where I found myself in a world of shit and I had no idea how I got there. It was just one day I was in a bad place, right? So at 3 a.m., one of the things that we want to do is prevent that and educate. And it's not that that you're being ignorant or just irresponsible about your issues. We don't have the education, and we don't talk about the way these things creep up, right? Traumatic injuries and stuff like that go on in our profession. So, this is the tune-up. And what we're asking for you to do is, as you go to these calls, to recognize some of the signs, right? Maybe you'll go home and you'll have an extra beer. Maybe you'll have beer and you never drink, right? And you find yourself doing that. Maybe you're like, hey, I don't feel like talking to people, right? That call was so fucked up that I don't want to discuss it with anybody. Or the natural response to, calls with children, calls with officers, God forbid, right? That we lose a child, a drowning happens way too often. These kids that come across these weapons, and the outcome is just tragic and it's horrible. Those type of calls, there should be a flag system, and I keep harping on this. There should be a system, just like when we flag officers that have too many uses of force, or an officer calling in sick or whatever. Those things need to be brought up, right? So, and as they come up, what we're asking is for you just to have a tune-up and talk to somebody, whether it's peer counseling, going to your departmental services. If you don't feel that, contact your insurance and go out. Reach out to us. We have people that we can send you to, right? You have to be on top of your stuff. Don't let stuff accumulate. Okay, that kind of stuff will eventually come back and bite you in the ass. And it's not a question of, I got this or whatever. Listen, I have talked to men, women, black, white, gay, straight, retired, and active. Nobody is exempt. I talk to people, and if you talk to people long enough, you will see a kink in the armor. I don't care who it is. I've talked to guys from SWAT teams and special response teams, and these guys are warriors. There's no question about it. They go through that door and they know gunfire's coming, and they don't stutter step, right? But what we're asking is, when all that's done, let's talk about it, right? Let's have a diffusing. Let's get all that out. I don't want people having flashbacks at night. I've been talking to numerous officers, and I used to go through that too. You get flashbacks. You get woken up by these people. Put them where they belong, to rest, okay? And out of our minds. You need to address things as they come up. Don't get caught up with a ton of shit, because then you have a ton of shit to deal with. Deal with it as it comes by. And that doesn't mean that if you go to a call and you go, well, I feel pretty good and I didn't drink today and I didn't have a flashback. Great. That's where we want to be. But to prevent that, just talk about it. Just talk about it. Reach out to somebody, call me, text me, whatever it is, talk about it. I've been talking to a ton of people now. I get a ton of DM messages. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I didn't respond quick enough or whatever. But we'll get to you, and you just need to talk. That's all it is, okay? And listen, it's out of love, and the fact that, I know I've been there, and a lot of us have, and I don't want you to be there. And if you're in there, it's okay. I know the way out of there. All right, but you got to talk, and don't rely on other people to care about you. That brings me to another point. You should be surrounding yourself by people with the same mindset, right? I'm not saying get rid of your friends because they don't believe in trauma or whatever, but just in our toxic world, our profession, we are around a lot of people that are Debbie Downers, right? They bring you down. Don't do that. Be careful with that, okay? Be responsible in your actions and take care of yourself. You have to have the want and desire to be better. You have a cold and you go drink cold Tylenol or Mucinex or whatever it is, right? Same thing. Hey, I think I saw something. I just want to make sure I want to talk about this and whatever, and that's a great thing. Don't find yourself in that hole, okay? Be responsible, all right? Do the things you need to do. Get those little tune-ups, and that's it. And on a personal note, man, it sucks, the addiction to coffee, because I have to fast for this stress test, and I'm grouchy as shit, and I feel like shit because I haven't had my coffee. So, but I'm in the struggle, moving forward, never back, and we take care of our stuff, okay? I don't want stuff to accumulate in your life or in my life, and we keep moving forward. Have a great Wednesday. Kick some ass. Remember, you're a badass, and take out the garbage, okay? Don't let that shit accumulate. Don't keep pushing it down. God bless you, and God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. 3 a.m. Fog.